everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today. We've got the lovely Tom back again to talk about. You are lovely to talk about to talk about property inspections and all of the amazing things that you need to look out for, and obviously why it's really good to have somebody like Tom to come and have a look at a property before you buy it. So thank you for coming back and joining us again. It's always nice to chat to you.
Oh, great pleasure.
It always is good. So I think today we're just gonna have a bit more of a general chat, aren't we? I know last time you came up with a few of the main bits that people really need to look out for, which obviously people can still watch that video on the group. And it's a never-ending list, I know, so we can always cover some of that again if you want to as well.
No, well, it's the Portugal methodology of construction is so varied from all the other countries around the world. Even for me, it was a learning curve, a lifetime in the construction industry. I basically wrote off the first 10 houses I looked at for inspections. I was like, don't walk in there, you'll die.
Yeah.
But I had to relearn sort of engineering, architectural, construction methodology to know what is safe, what is not safe in Portugal. And there's a big thing now after the pandemic. So many people are buying without coming and looking at the houses.
Absolutely,
Every week, at least one, if not two, I go and look at for people. And a lot of them aren't cheap houses.
No.
$500,000, 1.2, 1.7 million. And now it's one of my first questions when people contact me for an inspection. Have you been to the property?
Yeah.
And it continues to amaze me. The properties that people send me to. No, we haven't had a look, but we want to invest. We want to buy for the future. Okay.
It's mad, isn't it? I know. We're seeing so much of it at the moment. And even though we do say to people that you really do need to go in person, and a lot of the time, people think that, I've sent a friend or somebody who I know, and you think that's a hell of a lot of pressure on a friend as well, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's to put someone else in that position. No, it's a lot. I mean, even videos and things, though, they're great. And obviously, social media nowadays is brilliant. You can do instant links and all of that. But I don't know. There's not the same as, it's the feel of a place, isn't it? You can't get the feel for a place.
It really is. Most people know if it's the house for them or not when they walk into the front garden. Does it feel right, irrespective of what's happening structurally or aesthetically internally, because that can all be changed. But the feel of the environment surrounding the house, the neighborhood, the road you drove up on, it's all those little things that combine.
Well, I've done it before. I've seen houses that I was adamant I'd buy, basically booked a viewing, basically going to put an offer in. And absolutely hated it. Absolutely hated it. Couldn't got out quick enough.
I'm just waiting for the phone calls of people saying, Tom, you said the house was fine, but it feels like hell. Well, I can't judge the feeling. I'm sorry, I can only give you the structural and elemental analysis for the electrics, the plumbing, the drainage, cost analysis for what potential expenditures for repairs or upgrades or renovations. A lot of people buying older homes with no heating systems, no insulation, single glass. Yes, well, we are in southern Europe, so it's not freezing temperatures like like Scandinavia or anything like that, but it still drops to 0, -1 in a lot of the areas in Portugal in the night. I come out in the morning and found frozen water puddles out in the garden.
And Portuguese houses, I mean, it's a well-known thing for people who've been in Portugal a while, that they're quite often colder inside than the temperature outside in the winter.
Oh,
it's like a fridge.
We've lived through that. 8 degrees inside, 14 degrees
right
outside.
I used to go outside and sit in the sun to warm up.
Very true story. No, it's I don't know how people are doing it without looking. At least if they've been in, they've had a look, they've got an understanding, and they can say, okay, what do we need to upgrade this property to make it comfortable for us for the 3 or 4 or 5 months of the cooler winter? Insulation, controlled heating systems, and so many variations. I get some people who want to put in diesel heating systems, and I'm just like, really? And then somebody else is pellet salamanders. Somebody else says, we want electric boilers. Somebody else is gas, and they all do the same thing. So it's how green do you want to be? How much do you want to spend per month on your heating bills? So do you spend 20,000 insulating your house to save 500 a year on your heating bill, or do you put that 20 grand into something else?
You're so right. It's a constant balance, isn't it? And you've got to work out, really, if it's 10, 15, 20 years plus repairs and maintenance and all of that, what is actually really beneficial and what isn't. There's a big divide there, I think, when you get the figures down sometimes.
Solar hot water systems, by the time you pay for the installation, connection into the system, it's several thousand euros. We have gas hot water. We have one big bottle a year. It's 100 euros a year. So
you're right. When you really work it out.
And if you've got solar, it's good for maybe 60, 70% of the year. So the rest of the time you're going to rely on the gas or electric anyway. So why have that big expenditure? And then with people mounting them up on the roof. And people who say, we're going to do it anyway, Tom, we don't care what you say. I'm like, well, great. We're going to put it on the roof. Please don't put it on the roof. You have to drill through your protective structure to keep the water away. You're getting leaks around, bolt holes. You've got a 400-litre tank of water sitting up on your roof, adding half a ton.
That's scary. Right.
Really, people don't go through the whole big picture of it all. And then I come along and I'm like, I wonder why that roof's sagging. There's half a ton of solar hot water system sitting on a timber frame structure.
I mean, I guess the real message, isn't it, is that it's all. I fully understand that people are desperate to get out. I fully get it, and they need to buy something. They want an address. Rentals aren't easy to come by, so I do understand why people are drawn to do it. I really do get it. I especially, people from the UK now, and anyone who's outside of Europe, obviously, where they really have to have an address. They have to have an address to be able to move. They can't move otherwise.
Africans, Americans,
so it's a real big, even more of a drive, isn't it, than ever to say, look, we've just bought something, we've got something to move to, we don't have to think about it now. And the only real way you can do that with any security is to expect to be spending a lot of money potentially on something, to make it the way you want it to look, no matter what the photos look like, no matter how confident you are. If you don't have a very good bank balance there to be sure that you can do up the problems, you could be really living in a misery, couldn't you?
And that's another thing that people have to be so aware of, that so many times the photos that they're showing can be 10, 15 years old. I've gone and looked at properties myself in the past for my own purchase and sort of pulled up at the house and was just like, well, that tree wasn't there in the photos.
It's now a giant oak tree.
That wasn't there and it wasn't. So, you really have to be careful. I think the majority of realtors are honest, but they don't know. They're not builders. They're not engineers, architects. They see a structure. It's not a pile of rubble, so it's a house, you can live in it. So they sell it. Yes, it's all good. It's in great condition. But then it's all the small things, the damp that's been soaking into the walls for decades, all the plaster work that's starting to deteriorate, and even the bricks internally. Constant water soaking into that ceramic weakens it. So then downward force on those walls, start to get cracks in the walls, death watch beetle in internal timbers, and it has a party. Literally some of the places I've gone into, especially in roof structures, and I can see an area that's like Swiss cheese, all the holes. They get the pocket knife, and it just, and half the wooden beam structure just crumbles away. It will just be skin. It's incredible. Electrical systems, so many sockets in the older style houses have no earth. So everything might be functional, but you're going to want earth in most of the house. So then it becomes a rewiring. Even in newly renovated places, for the untrained eye, they see a switch, they see a power point. Oh, it looks new. Great, we're so happy. Yes, in some cases they paid €1.15 for them at the China Loggia, and they're absolute rubbish. I can walk in, I can look, and I go, okay, well, is it Schneider or Legrand or one of the other more well-known brands of quality? Yeah, they cost more, but that's going to last for 30 years, where the one that you think is new, 12 months, 2.5 years, you don't know, it starts to fail, bits and pieces fall apart behind it.
Well, I think that's the thing as well, isn't it, with you, because you've been in Portugal a while now, and like you say, you've had that hands-on experience, not just from a surveyor's eye, but from your own personal living, like your own personal,
and seeing what's happening to people I know.
Yeah, exactly. So you really do have quite a good view.
I've been to their sites and looked at what they're doing and why they're doing it. Asking them questions, and even though they know me, they're ready to throw me off site. Oh, it's just too many questions. You move on. Looking at new foundations being poured for luxury houses. There's no waterproofing underneath the foundation. No system of drainage. And then when I start to talk to them about moisture soaking in, that's just we don't worry about that in Portugal. If the walls start to flake after a couple of years, you just clean it off and paint it again.
Wow.
Well, maybe you should just put these things in the house that for years.
You don't have to worry about it.
Ventilation in bathrooms, and they put these tiny little nasty extractors in that do nothing. It's and the rest of Europe has had these very powerful extraction units, humidity sensitive, smell sensitive. They can be put in the bathrooms and kitchens. They cost a little bit more, but the difference they make to the environment of the house is incredible. And you start mentioning that, no, the cost, but if it's a new build, in relation to, do I spend an extra 5,000 instead of 200,000 on the construction, I'll spend 205. So we'll put a water course and we'll put some decent ventilation in, and that's basically going to eliminate your damp, high humidity, ambient humidity in the house, and any mold.
And the longevity of that house being around, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It pays itself back.
Yeah, it most certainly does. I looked at a house today. It was 350 square meters, built in 85. I'd swear that not a lick of maintenance had ever been done on it in its 36 years of life. Nobody had lived in it for the last 8 or 10 years, and the roof had failed. So water had poured into it. It was criminal, but I see it constantly. Nobody does maintenance, and I can understand why, because maintenance costs money. And the people who own the cheaper rural houses are the people with the lower incomes, so they can't afford that extra 150 a month for maintenance. We're going to keep our gutters upgraded, our heating system, upgrade the windows, make sure the roof is continually watertight. So every little thing starts to slip through the cracks. That's something else, but that's okay. We're still okay inside. We're dry-ish. It's a little bit damp. We'll open the windows. It's not good. Well, we'll all crowd around the fireplace for the whole winter. We'll shut off the other rooms because they're too cold to be in. And then when they go to sell it, it's a totally sick dwelling. Literally, what I saw today, mold all over the door, the walls.
What a shame.
I was in one the other day in Sintra, and the client said to me, he said, wait till you see the room downstairs. He says, it's like walking into a psychedelic 70s kids room, because the mold on the walls looked like this, psychedelic wallpaper.
Wow.
That was amazing.
And these things, they can be sorted, can't they? But they are hugely expensive, and it can cost. Eventually, it really does add up to cost a lot of money, and that's the trouble, isn't it? People's dreams can be absolutely wrecked within a very short mistake.
They've got a budget. We'll buy for 90, we'll spend 20, but then it's buy for 90, and oops. We need to replace the roofs, 15,000. The electrical system shot, another 2.5. We need to upgrade all the plumbing.
And as you say, it happens all the time. I know people who it happens to all, and they're sensible people who are intelligent. They're not people who are just being stupid. It's just
certainly not
always
they're going in totally with their eyes wide open. But everyone's got their ceiling of understanding of what a situation is. So I'm not going to go and try and fix a computer. I don't destroy it. Somebody who can fix the computer, they shouldn't be judging the house. That's when they should have a professional to come in and look over everything and explain what's good, what's bad, what needs to be done, and if required, how much is it going to cost. So then it's a proper equation that you're walking into. The buy, the expenditure, the final product, total amount.
Well, it's and I know so many people who have said to me, you've saved them a fortune, whether it is in them walking away from a property, or not necessarily always walking away, though. It's it just is that they're going into it more prepared, more financially prepared. Maybe they do take out a small mortgage or whatever it is. They are just walking into something complete
these
unknown.
things are okay if you're prepared for them.
Yeah,
and it goes across the whole spectrum. There's no safe area of financial purchase that says, "Oh, I've paid 1.8 million. It must be great."
Yeah, no. You're not safe from it. Exactly. There's no exemption
It's
in
only
price.
8 years old. It must be okay.
No.
I see things here and flat roofs. I know I've spoken about this before, but it's one of my favorites.
We all love a flat roof.
We all have a flat roof, and putting insulation straight on top of it, and then stones on top of that, and then water coming under the insulation, and just deteriorating the membrane, whether it's a plastic membrane or a tar felt, and just water sitting on it for years.
Yeah,
turns it to liquid, and then soaks into the structure. And literally, I've seen pull out the spotlights in false ceilings and put the endoscope in there, and I can see all the bits of concrete that have broken away from the real ceiling.
And it's just so unhealthy, isn't it? I mean, it's not even about the cost necessarily. It's that you could be living in that for years before you even know there's a problem. And that's, that can be so bad for you. It can really be life-changing.
Isn't visible.
Yeah.
It's only a certain range of fungi that are black. And the rest are either white or invisible, and you just don't see they're there. It's only the people with really sensitive respiratory systems. They know something's wrong, but because they can't see it, they can't judge it.
Yeah. So, we normally blame something else, don't they? So that's it. Yeah.
And living in these closed environments, I can't stress ventilation enough.
Yeah.
You have to have active, passive ventilation, draw out the bad air, pull in the new air. It's not about the humidity internally. It's about the quality of the air. I've got a Caterpillar air quality sensor, and it judges the quality of the air in parts per billion.
Okay.
It tells me the quality of the air. I can walk in, I turn it on, boom, and it's air quality is good, 127 parts per billion, foreign matter, but the air is breathable. Mm-hmm. And then I go into somewhere else, and 2,690 parts per billion, beware.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and it's ventilation, it's just things that are growing inside, and especially here with so many damp problems and issues, and it's every house. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the price.
No. I mean, and there are factors that come with that. I mean, having lived in Cornwall for a long time, I know that, it's just a given. Every house in Cornwall is damp. Every house, fact. It doesn't matter when it was made or how near the sea it is going to be damp, because that's what Cornwall's like. But there's levels that are manageable and there's levels that are damaging, and that's where that's what you've got to know what you're playing with, isn't it? Really?
How to control it. There's so many people, and especially people coming from the States where this isn't an issue. Or
Yes.
They're like, oh, we don't understand why this is happening.
Yeah.
What should we do? They have no idea. But that's another good thing with the inspection coming in early and being able to say to people, this is what's going to happen with the house once you start living in it. Maybe it's been partially renovated for sale, cleaned up, liquor paint, made to look all fresh and nice. But the reality of it is, two winters and a family living in the house, it's going to go to hell.
Yeah,
everything's going to start peeling. A favorite here with the cheap renovation is a false wall in front of the original stone structures. Oh, the nastiness that goes on behind those. And I love when I'm inspecting a house and they've got the false walls, and how have you aerated behind? And they just look at me. What do you mean aerated behind? So there's circulation, so that the moisture being released from the original wall isn't just accumulating and becoming mold behind.
Mm-hmm.
Can I drill a hole in your wall and put the endoscope in? And they're sort of like, yeah, okay. And they're looking at the screen and they're like, what's that? Oh, that's mold. And wow. See all the spots everywhere. And then, of course, the false wall is a plaster, gyps sheet in front. And then, of course, it starts to eat into the paper. The moisture starts to come into the plaster. The whole wall just...
But just to an untrained eye, that looks like a nice, new, modern, smooth wall. Yeah. And it's all good, doesn't it? You just think, lovely.
On the outside, go inside and start tapping. Oh, false wall. Oh, yes, we did that so we could easily run the electrics. Is there insulation in there? Oh, we didn't think to put that in. Okay. So you're just covering up all the problems. Nasty business.
So people can book for you, and you can travel pretty much anywhere, can you, in Portugal at the minute? I mean, I know you're super busy, but...
Minho to Vera, everywhere in between. seem to be a lot around Lisbon, Cascais, Estoril, Sintra, Mafra, all up the Silver Coast,
Yeah.
Peniche, Nazaré.
Oh, there's worse places to visit.
And if you need to know where a good restaurant is in any of those places, just
yeah, you need to write the surveyor's guide to restaurants.
it has been mentioned.
You need to do it. You definitely need to do it. It's going to happen soon. When you have the time, with all that spare time on your hands.
Lunches. Like, oh, we've seen this review. Oh, please take a seat.
There you go. You see, win-win.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'll quickly put your website up here, but I will share it in the link as well when we share this video, so people can get in touch. And obviously, you're on the group anyway, so if anyone wants to ask anything, I'm sure that they can. And again, I think. Go on, sorry, Tom.
Covering a very broad range of things these days. We've got electromagnetic field sensors, radon sensors for private houses. If people have got concerns about radon gas, of course, the electromagnetic field for the big power cables, the big towers. If that's we can know if there's too much electromagnetic radiation coming from that. Endoscopic examination, thermal imaging, lasers for everything, for finding the lie of buildings in relation to foundation, angle of walls.
So you can cover pretty much anything.
Covers everything. If you want to know about what's the best heating, we'll do calculations in relation to cubic meters, volume, requirements of heating.
Amazing.
It's fab. Anything, and always upgrading. I've just purchased black light, bit of a nasty one, looking for urine stains in carpet, poking up into walls. And, but people have cats, they have animals, have parties. Who knows what goes in? Let's
not go there.
The black light, that's going to allow us to see, if carpets are damaged, if walls are damaged.
And they're the sort of things that you don't know about till it's too late, and you've lived there for 3 months normally, aren't they? That's the trouble.
Exactly. And we find a solution for everything. I don't recommend anyone because that's a slippery slope, but I can give you the documentation so that you know what you need to have done, and if you want to go to the next level, how it should be done. So that you've got a checklist, and this is the 15 steps on how this job should be completed to a high standard. Brilliant. Trying to cover everything. We're doing what we can in the 23 and a half hours we've got for work and half an hour for sleep, but we're powering on.
That's amazing. You really are great, and I only ever hear such fab things about you. You're just, I know you're so good at what you do, and you really do. You deserve to be as busy as you are because you're brilliant at it. If anyone has any questions specifically that you would really like us to cover, then of course, Tom and I can always arrange another video. If there's something a topic that you really want to be covered, then it's always great to have you. Yeah, exactly. We can just cover it.
Something just about damp and solutions.
About
heating and solutions with insulation.
Absolutely. Well, let's try and sort something out anyway. But when people see this, if you want to stick a comment on the video and let us know if there's anything in particular that is a real worry or something that you've come unstuck with, then that would be great, because we can make sure we cover the most helpful things then, can't we?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much, Tom. Time always goes so quick.
Send me an email with some questions. I'm glad to.
I'll put your email address in the video as well, so that people can do that in the text for the video. That's no problem at all. And I'm sure you'll get plenty of questions based on it anyway. But you may regret that one.
Oh, it's fine. I enjoy it.
We keep you busy.
I need that.
Really, really great fun. It's so lovely to always chat to you. It really is. So hopefully we'll sort out another video soon, I'm sure, anyway.
Lovely. Look forward to it.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye now.